Given that you work with so many agencies, and what would be one piece of advice that you would give to other agency owners that are trying to have the level of success that you're seeing?
There's two, if I can, two pieces. The first one is figure out what you want your ideal process to be for your agency. The second piece of advice is you need to figure out your niche. Who do you serve and what can you do for them? What's that problem that you can solve for them?
I'm a strong believer that everybody needs help in a coach and advisory team. Given that, where are you looking to take your agency and your coaching mentorship business this year?
The reality is this, Chris. If this organization is thinking about cutting back spending and is starting to do that, other organizations are doing the same. This affords them, the people that we're talking to, the opportunity to leapfrog the other businesses that are pulling back, because then there's going to be a void in the market. There's going to be a void in marketing and advertising and getting out there that they can take advantage of to get more eyeballs on their cause or whatever it is that they want to promote. So if other businesses are pulling back, if other organizations are pulling back, that gives you the ability to get ahead of them.
All right, guys. Today I'm joined by David Hitzrich, founder and CEO of Wow Digital, a Toronto-based agency that has delivered over 270 digital transformation projects for nonprofits, healthcare providers, and charities. In addition to that, for 4 years now, he's been coaching and mentoring other digital agency owners to help them grow and scale their business. He's the host of the Nonprofit Digital Success podcast and a frequent speaker at events like the DigiMarcon and Virtual Summit for Nonprofit Excellence. He's also the force behind Mighty NPO and the Momentum Value Program, all built on his mission to support 5,000 orgs and what went from 10 million to 100 million lives. Congrats on that, by the way, David. Great to have you on the show.
Thank you so much, Chris, and appreciate the kudos there.
Of course. So if you wouldn't mind sharing, David, what do you feel has been the key to your success in scaling your agency?
I think there's two parts to it. The first one is getting support and help. And there's a couple parts to that. One is actually really getting support, having other people in my team, so not everything is relying just on me. As an agency owner, as a business owner, it's very easy to become a bottleneck in the work that you do, right? So getting support, getting VAs, getting team involved to be able to help on the projects. The second part of the help is actually mental kind of business support. And what I mean by that is mentorship and coaching. So I've got a mentor. I mean, I've been doing it for the last 4 years for over 240 agencies to help them, but I've got a mentor as well. And it's how we grow. And I've got an advisory group that I meet with as well. And we run ideas past each other and stuff like that. So getting support on the business and then in the business. And those are two kind of different pieces of that. So I mentioned two. So one is the support. I was doing two, but one is the support. The second one is strategic planning. And that's something that a lot of business owners, agency owners, they're not doing. And it's important to do that at least on a quarterly basis so that you know, all right, here's what you need to do to focus on, to grow, to fix a problem that happened last quarter. You need to implement this, that, whatever. And actually putting it down in a plan quarter after quarter and identifying these are the pieces that you need to work on has been revolutionary for my agency.
And I'm a strong believer that everybody needs help in a coach and advisory team. So I can definitely relate to that. Given that, where are you looking to take your agency and your coaching mentorship business this year?
So I've got big aspirations for the agency. For the last 4 years, we've had 20% growth year over year, which is really great. It's going to be tough this year given the global implications of some of the things that have happened from the US federal government. For better or for worse, it doesn't really matter. There's impact out there. People are concerned about the economy, the value of their dollar. They're holding on to it a little bit longer. So I think we're in for a little bit of a challenge to hit our goal this year, but we've got the goal set. And the mentoring and coaching starting April 2nd, April 2nd, one of the beginning of April. We'll just go with that. I've shifted. I'm still coaching agencies and digital agencies, but I'm putting more of a focus to help nonprofit agencies and consultants that serve, so that I can actually get to my big lofty goal of 5,000 organizations and 100 million people. I'm going to try to really push that ripple effect, right? So if anybody out there works at all with nonprofits or is involved in a nonprofit, maybe you're on the board or you volunteer or whatever, and there's something that I've got in my blog or my podcast or that we talk about today, and you go and you talk to some, you're helping me get closer to my goal. So thank you.
We'll definitely share and we'll make a note there. So two questions came up there. One, with your clients in your agency, as the economic times, as there's political uncertainty, as there's challenges all over the world, you mentioned that a lot of people are tightening up. What do you tell your clients as an agency owner when they ask you, hey, we need to pull back spend, we need to reduce our budgets? What are you telling your clients in that situation?
The reality is this, Chris. If this organization is thinking about cutting back spending and is starting to do that, other organizations are doing the same. This affords them, the people that we're talking to, the opportunity to leapfrog the other businesses that are pulling back, because then there's going to be a void in the market. There's going to be a void in marketing and advertising and getting out there that they can take advantage of to get more eyeballs on their cause or whatever it is that they want to promote. So if other businesses are pulling back, if other organizations are pulling back, that gives you the ability to get ahead of them.
Leapfrog. Got it. And so I know before we started, you mentioned that you have already hit your initial goal of 10 million, impacting 10 million lives, and you had to up that to 100 million. Is there anything that you can share or tell us about how you were able to do that?
Yeah, it's not just us and the work that we're doing. It's about the clients that we serve. We have a handful of national clients that have been around for 40, 50 years. So there's all the people that they touch and connect with. We've got some international clients as well that are like, one of our clients is a division of the United Nations. We've built 4 projects for them. There's lots of people that are seeing their content. So when we take a look at the number of subscribers that these organizations have on their list, the number of page views that they get on a monthly basis, the number of unique visitors that they have, we're well past 10 million. And end of 2024, I said, this is too low. We need to go bigger. We need to go bolder.
I love that. So looking forward at the growth trajectory that you have on both businesses or sectors of your business, how much of that depends on you as the rainmaker? Because I know that you mentioned having and building teams a couple different times.
Where to start? Oh my goodness. So it's my business. It's my agency. I'm really the face of it. So any of the marketing that we're doing, the podcast, that's me on there. I have a team that fulfills. I have a team that helps connect to other people to get guests on the show, things like that. But yeah, I'm really the face. And sales is the hardest position that I've been able to fill. The agencies that I've been coaching, it's the hardest position that they've been able to fill, because nobody can really talk about what we do, how we do it, why we do it, as well as I can, because I birthed the company, right? So it's tough. It's tough. I have made a couple hires over the past 4 years that didn't work out in terms of sales. Because we're working in the nonprofit space, we don't need like a Wolf of Wall Street, yo bro, like get it done, like like high pressure. That doesn't resonate with my niche. So finding the right balance, and I've got somebody on board that started. We had 2 hires start at the beginning of June. So they're just going through the onboarding. One of them is focused on helping me on the sales side to do that. And then I have other people that are helping with like LinkedIn messaging and email marketing and things like that. So I'm not the only one working on the nurturing of clients and prospects in that kind of way, but I'm at the moment the main face that they meet with.
Got it. And given that you're looking to kind of build in support around you, how does that change your acquisition strategy from when you started till now?
I mapped out, if I could grab my iPad and I could show you, like I mapped out our entire sales process from start to finish. And what I did was I identified the bottlenecks, the things that are relying only on me. And that's what my focus for the last 6 to 8 months has been on fixing, to get other people involved, to pull some of that off of me. So like I said at the beginning, I don't want to be the bottleneck in this, right? So I do need to get support in that, and that's what we're working on.
How are you leveraging AI to stay competitive?
That's a big question. I've been with and using AI, it's been about 4 years now. So well before ChatGPT kind of came to market and all, that's really been like close to 2 years, I think now. So we've been using it for a really long time. A lot of it that we use is for brainstorming. A lot of it is for rewriting content and stuff like, oh, I don't like how this is worded. Some of it is, I have this email for a client or for a prospect, make it friendlier, right? I use my tone and voice. I created some custom GPTs to learn from how I want things to be in there. We've used it heavily for Google Sheet formulas to bring in like multiple sheets. It probably would have taken me 3 or 4 hours to figure it out, and it was like 20 minutes. It didn't work right, and then tweak it a little bit, right? So it's saving a whole bunch of time on that. We're using it for proposals to help us distill all the main points because we have transcripts from all the meetings, and we can just throw it into there and identify all of that. We also use ClickUp as our project management tool, and we've paid for the AI add-on in there. So we're using that inside of there to get insights about projects and insights around effort and time and stuff like that.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. It's always such a loaded question because there's so many places where AI can come into play. And I think as marketers, it's one of those things that like, we're always testing new and the latest stuff. So thanks for sharing. I know sometimes it could be like the secret sauce. So
Yeah, I'm happy to like at any time if you want, we can like do a deep dive on AI, but like high level, we're using ChatGPT. We've got a paid account there, so we've got like the pro models and whatever, and that's the main one that we're leveraging.
got it. So on the coaching side, I know you mentioned that your agency clients they find challenges with sales. What other areas are they struggling in that you can really fill the gap or help them fill the gap?
So what I coach on is there's 4 pillars to a business. You have lead generation, sales and conversion, right? Like getting to actually jump over the fence, right? You have delivery, and then you have the growth of the business. And it's usually one of those 4 pillars. So when we sit down and we do strategic planning, we take a look and we rank how are we feeling about each one of these categories, and then we figure out, all right, which one is going to be the focus for the quarter. And then we use the EOS framework. We come up with rocks for that specific pillar of the agency, and that's the focus for the quarter.
Got it. So you're kind of chipping away pillar by pillar.
Exactly. And you might have lead generation for 2 or 3 quarters if that's like a really big struggle for your business. It's not necessarily going to go in that order, quarter
Got it.
after quarter.
Got it. Given that you work so many agencies and run a successful agency yourself, what would be one piece of advice that you would give to other agency owners that are trying to have the level of success that you're seeing?
There's two, if I can, instead
Two
of one.
pieces, yeah.
All right, so two pieces. The first one is figure out what you want your ideal process to be for your agency. That way, okay, client comes in, this is what we do, et cetera, et cetera. These are the 12, we have a 12-step process that we go through on our projects, right? Maybe you have 3, maybe you have 50, whatever it happens to be. The second piece of advice is you need to figure out your niche. Who do you serve? And what can you do for them? What's that problem that you can solve for them? You don't want to sell the solution, right? You want to sell the outcome. You want to take them, my mentor says, take them from the island of sad to the island of happy, right? So where they're currently at, they're not happy. That's why they're coming to you. They're looking for a quote on whatever. How can you get them to where they want to be?
Got it. That's powerful. Is there anything that you wanted to discuss or anything that you feel excited to share today?
I don't know. I'm excited by all of this stuff. I don't know if that has
Yeah,
been coming through as I've been talking about this, but I love helping people, whether they're nonprofit agency owners, whoever, to help them get to wherever it is that they want to be in life. I hate seeing ads. I'm not going to mention any companies here, but when I'm like scrolling through social, you need to have a 7-figure agency, an 8-figure. No, that's a whole bunch of malarkey. What works for you? As you grow your business, as you bring people in, you have HR problems and people problems that you need to sort out. And there's a whole other pile of headache that comes with that, right? So do you want to bring in 1 million? Do you want to bring in 100 million a year? Do you want to bring in 200,000 a year, 50,000 a year, right? Like whatever works for you. Who cares what everybody else is saying? As long as you're happy, as long as you feel satisfied, satiated, you're able to support yourself or your family or whatever your aspirations are. Forget about what everybody else wants. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters.
That's powerful. I think in this space, so many people get caught in making money and flaunting revenue. You know, even sometimes revenue is a vanity metric, right? Like at the end of the day, how much profit is there actually? And like, are you happy in your business? So that's powerful. That's a really good reminder. Dave.
Understand everybody has their own path, right? I come to what I do with 30 years of experience. I started doing web stuff in the early 90s when we got dial-up at home, right? It's taken me a long time to get to where I am. If you are just starting now, it's going to be hard to get there instantly. So figure out what your goal is for the year, your 3-year goal, your 10-year goal, and just work towards it, chip away at it, right? Do the quarterly planning, sit down and go, what do I need to focus on? How can I make this a reality? And part of the planning is finances, obviously, right? You don't want to have a business that runs in the red month after month, quarter after quarter, right? You're just bleeding money unless you have like big VC backing or something. Like nobody wants a company that's doing that. And yeah, just like I said, just focus on the thing that brings you joy and that you can help people with something, right? It doesn't have to be in the nonprofit space. Like what I'm like, there's a lot of help that my company is actually doing. But if you want to help mom and pop shops set up a Shopify website so that they can sell more, cool. Like not everything needs to be this ethereal, make the world a better place kind of thing. That's my thing, right? That's my core values coming out in the work that we do. It's okay if you want to go out there and work your butt off and sell and make tons of money. Amazing. But be happy. There was a study, I think I heard about it maybe a year ago or so. In the US, they did a study to find out how much money people need to earn to be happy. And like, where's that threshold where earning more than that doesn't bring any kind of additional happiness? And I think it was somewhere around 80,000 a year, if my memory's working properly today, right? So going for 300,000 a year, you've got to pay more taxes. You're going to end up living larger. You're going to spend more money. You're going to have things that you don't actually really need versus want. And I think that's okay. But, you know, have control over what you do and be intentional with it.
Got it. Wrapping up here, Dave, where can people find you? Where can people learn more, whether they're nonprofits looking for support on the agency side or whether they're an agency looking for some support in anything that you mentioned?
The easiest thing to do is go to our website, wowdigital.com. On the site there under services, you'll see there's a link for mentoring and coaching if you want any help or support around that. All the details about the program is there. If you want, you can reach out by email, david@wowdigital.com, or you can call me at 1-888-238-9679. I'm extension 112. And I'd give you my LinkedIn link, but it's like a long URL. So
Yeah. We can drop it in the show notes.
Perfect.
David, thanks so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you so much, Chris. And everybody, I hope you keep on being successful
And happy.